Hi everyone, thanks for joining me at the Shiras Zoo. I hope you are enjoying your experience at Presque Isle Park so far. I'm Carly. I'm going to be just sharing some information about the Shiras Zoo behind me. So before we get started, I ask you all to close your eyes and I want you to picture yourself at Presque Isle Park in the 80s. You're here with your loved ones. You hear Lake Superior waves crashing against the shoreline, you hear kids playing in the sand, and you hear animal noises in the distance. I want you to take a moment and think about how you feel in this moment. I know for me, I feel happiness and I'm excited to be visiting Presque Isle, such a beautiful place here in Marquette. Throughout our time here together, I ask you to recognize those moments and just acknowledge how you're feeling throughout our time here. Behind me stands the Shiras Zoo. I want to ask how many of you guys have been to a zoo. I know I've been to a zoo and I do love them, and so do many people. Yearly we had 500,000 visitors come here in the summer months, and the zoo was named after Peter White's son-in-law. His name was George Shiras III. He was a pretty interesting guy. He was a wildlife photographer. He was a huge advocate for wildlife and just keeping them protected. And my favorite fact about George was that he was the first ever nighttime wildlife photographer, which I thought was pretty neat. So in 1932, the zoo opened with the intent of just showing people the native animals to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The animals that lived here were white-tailed deer. We had some rare albino deer as well. We had fox, goats, pheasants, peacocks, otters, black bear, a bobcat, and we even had an animal that made national news, and his name was Homer, and he was a timber wolf. Along with all these animals here, I bet you guys are curious as to who cared for these beautiful animals, and the answer to that question is a man named Buck O'Neill. And Buck O'Neill not only took care of the animals on Presque, but he also lived here. And right behind you at the blue house behind you is the Superior Watershed now, but that is where Buck O'Neill resided. He cared for all these animals here during the summer months, but during the winter months, all of the animals besides the white-tailed deer went back to their home of Boulder Junction, Wisconsin. So in 1990, unfortunately, the Shiras Zoo closed by the Marquette Humane Society, and they closed it due to inhumane conditions. So although these animals aren't standing here behind me today, they are still in the park, and if you're lucky enough and spend enough time here at Presque Isle, you may be able to spot some of these beautiful critters. So I just want to spread thanks to you guys for spending the time here and learning about the Shiras Zoo and the animals, and I really hope you enjoy Fresh Coast Film Fest and the rest of our tour here at Presque Isle. It's a beautiful park. So thanks guys.